Magic players have been dealt another blow as more LGS crumble to the pressures of 2023. Expenses can add up fast when your product is not selling. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. I wish I had better news to share with everyone, but in this case, it's kind of a little bit of a sad news day where we have more LGS closing. Now, none of these stores are ones that I personally deal with. They're not local here to Toronto, but I did get information from some people on my channel that put me in contact with them and confirmed it. They haven't told this information to their customers yet. They're waiting to just finalize things before they start liquidating stock from the store. Each of these stores had very similar complaints about Wizards of the Coast. They had the Jumpstart product. They felt tricked when they bought Dominaria United's Jumpstart. They're stuck with dozens of cases they can't sell, and it's costing them thousands of dollars that they can't liquidate to get into newer products or to cover rent. The 30th anniversary cost them business because people boycotted the stores. Even in a small fashion, it still happened. Their online sales were down, as well as in-person sales for the stores. All of them had the same complaint. Different margins, but the same complaint. When it comes to doing F&Ms or prize support nights, because there's a lack of prize support, all these stores reported losses on every single Friday or Saturday that they held Magic nights. People come in, they're going to play the game, they're going to get into the prize pool, but the stores have to pay for that staff to be there, sometimes 2 staff. That costs them hundreds of dollars every night on a Friday and a Saturday that they cannot recoup. Players are there to play, but not really to spend money, and the stores felt pressured in each of those cases to stay open just to make Wizards of the Coast happy, to make sure they're on good terms with what goes on in the company. Imagine feeling you have to do something, and that cost them more money from each of these stores, in some cases over a period of a decade, because all these stores are 10-year plus stores, and all 3 of them are closing. They're done, they're gone. Some of them with frustration, some a little bit resigned to the fact and a little more understanding of how the economy works. But when they looked at Magic the Gathering, the products didn't draw in enough players. People felt the cards were going to get banned and didn't want to invest in buying sealed boxes. It all went down horribly in the last 120 days. In one store's case, it came to a renegotiation of a lease, and that cost them some extra time and money trying to renegotiate that, and it didn't work out. Horrible stuff all the way around. And not to mention, you have to have those products shipped to you. Shipping costs are up because fuel costs are up. You have staffing costs to run your stores. You have to have people there at the start of the day, the end of the day. Some of these stores tried to cut hours, slim things down. You still can't do it to make ends meet. MTG secondary sales for sealed products are drying up. Nobody trusts the product now. That costs them money. Even if it's thin margins, it still costs them money and time because they didn't know that was going to happen. So they invested money in buying boxes, buying extra stuff for the holiday season. Now, you've also got to pay for your internet, your Wi-Fi. You have to have that stuff in your store. You have to have a phone. All those things cost a store money. Now, most of these stores will sell hundreds of other products, right? They got board games, they got Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! They got puzzles, they've got shirts, they've got hats, they've got little snack bars. All of them had those things. And yes, it helps cover up some of the margins, but not nearly enough as all those costs rise. You still have your rent, you have your utilities. You have other evening events for like D&D players to come out and have a good time. But again, if a lot of things aren't being sold, you're still paying the staffing costs at a loss. Pre-orders allowed for less liquidity in the market for Magic the Gathering products, so they were unable to buy new products as they were coming out. They bought very limited amounts, and although they sold singles, the odd box that they managed to get their hands on, as well as packs, not nearly enough to cover massive rent increases, right? Then, of course, these stores have lines of credit, ways of buying and selling things, but if your lines of credit are getting tapped out because you got tricked into buying certain products, or at least you felt tricked into buying certain products, and you have no way of returning it and getting your money back, that hurts as well. And then, of course, credit cards. trying to cover those costs and hoping things get better the next day. All those things combined, each of these stores suffer them to a lesser or greater degree. Most of these people enter the business with a love of playing and hanging out with games, being part of a community in their local towns or cities, and now it's over for them. They're going back to day jobs. They're going to find other things to do. They're going to liquidate, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars in singles. They're going to liquidate puzzles in boxes. Some are just going to store it and just hang on to it for a later date, actually hoping to reopen in a few years to see if things improve or to see if the secondary market recovers. But imagine that that's 3 communities that no longer will have a local LGS located close to them. People will have to travel further to get to events, to get to the game they want to enjoy. And although this is not directly just Wizards of the Coast's fault, let's face it, inflation is everywhere, right? We have a lot of things to deal with. Each of these stores said that those items really cut into things. When they got stuck and saddled with products that they couldn't sell, and it just sits on a shelf month after month, because of some bad decisions at a company that really they're not directly related to, they just sell products for, it hurt more than anyone will ever know. They're done. They're out of business. They are closing shop. I found it kind of shocking that when they have a pre-release event, like Phyrexia All Will Be One, that's coming up soon, when they have those events, stores make about a maximum of $5 Canadian off of each pre-release kit. That's the most you're going to make. But you're still expected to run an event and have stuff. So imagine you run the event, you got 20 people there. You only made $100. But you have to have a staff tied up running the event for 4 or 5 hours. They have to set it up on the computer, enter all the names, clean the bathrooms, like keep the store open. I found that fascinating that it was so low. It's just shocking to me that Wizards wouldn't comprehend that you have to give a better price support package, give better margins so the stores are more incentivized to run your event, to promote your product, and to bring Magic to the masses. What a poor way of doing it. And for Cynthia Williams out there who says, they love their local LGS level and they want to, support them and promote their stores and keep them flourishing. Yeah, I'm going to call something on that because I just don't see it. And all the stores had those same complaints. And they didn't just blame Wizards of the Coast, but all of them said that they ran events at a loss every week that they ran an event. Some actually started cutting out events. They cut out Commander. They had to start slimming things down to only the daily operating hours of, say, 10 to 6. They couldn't run nighttime events because they couldn't pay for it. Because there's not enough support or margins on the products to stay open to run it. And that's just crazy to me. Imagine if Wizards had done something a little different and supported the stores a little better. It wouldn't even have cost that much. Crazy. We know how much it costs you to print the cardboard. Come on. Now in 2023, if we can get through the rest of the year with only another 3 or 4% of the total LGSs closing, I'll consider that a win. Because it's a very tough industry to stay alive in. A lot of these owners are struggling to get through it in hopes that things will turn around down the line. I hope for the best and I hope they do well. And I hope you guys out there who love your LGSs support them the best way you can without hurting friends or family. Nothing crazy. You cannot be the hero of the story and save your LGS, but you can be one of those people that supports them the best way you can. I know for me, I visit 3 or 4 LGSs. I try to support them all by spreading the money around that I do spend on products. And it's not always Magic. Sometimes it's just some dice or some things I need. But I just try to spread the wealth around. What can you do? It's the best we can do as players. But if it's a store you visit regularly, just remember all those great things your stores do for you. The fact they're open late. The fact they're there on a Saturday morning. The fact they can order your products in for you. I mean, I almost want to say go hug your local LGS owner, right? It's kind of crazy to think that way, but I'm in that huggy feeling mood right now thinking about the stores and what I would do if they were gone. Because I don't really like buying from... I don't buy Magic from Amazon, so I haven't done that yet. But it's the idea of it just, no. I'm an old fogey guy, and that's the way I like to do my stuff. So thanks again for hanging out, guys. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Let's put LGS in the comments section because we got to show our support for the LGS and not for Wizards of the Coast right now. And of course, a big shout out goes to all the supporters of this channel. Thanks again, guys, for being such amazing patrons of this channel, supporting us through thick and thin. You guys make it happen. You know it's true. Can't wait to see you guys on the live stream this weekend. Hey, you guys made it to the end. Thanks for being here in the nacho cheese universe of YouTube. Guys, it's awesome. It's awesome. I was shoveling basically for the last 2 hours before I came and did this video. I had to just rest for 20 minutes. There's all this ice hardened out here in Toronto. They came and plowed my sidewalk, which is fine. They plowed the sidewalk. It's nice and clean. I'm like, wow, barely any shoveling. But I wake up this morning, and the plow has come in the night, curled all this frozen snow and slush over. Now it's a hardened rock. I was busting out with chisels and stuff. Wish I had a jackhammer at that point. Anyway, the job is done. And now I'm going to sit down. Nope, I'm not. I got more videos to do. I'll talk to you guys soon.